Bueno, estamos acá en la primera sesión de conversatorios de escalatrónica, conversatorios internacionales. Hoy vamos a estar acá con Benjamin desde Alemania. Y en este trabajo que nos decidimos emprender, agradecemos muy particularmente al área de cooperación internacional el trabajo que hace Guillermo Tangelson junto a Julián. Julián va a estar acá coordinando esta charla junto con Jessica Rode, que también está ahí, compañera de trabajo del festival. Y tenemos a Benjamin. Benjamin, how are you?
Thank you, quite good. Warmly welcome from Hamburg, Germany. I'm very pleased to take part today in this conversation and the presentation of our work. Yeah, great.
Great, it's a great pleasure for us having you here. I will leave you with Julian and Jessica. They will take part of this.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, just as I said before, Benjamin, I will make a quick presentation in Spanish for the Spanish audience, and then I will give you the microphone to start. Bueno, es un placer para mí poder estar acá en estas jornadas de conversación de escalatrónica. Agradecer a Germán y a todo el equipo, también a Jessica, que nos está acompañando el día de hoy en estas conversaciones. Es un gusto muy grande tener a Benjamin desde Alemania en lo que va a ser esta primera sesión, presentando una experiencia que tiene que ver con un trabajo que hizo en su universidad. Voy a pasar a leer un poco un resumen de lo que va a ser esta sesión en español, y después vamos a dejarle el micrófono a Benjamin para que explique un poco, y más adelante vamos a ver la experiencia en formato de video ante la transmisión. Bueno, la obra que vamos a ver el día de hoy se llama SOUNDSCAPE, es una instalación multicanal del 2022, que se hizo en el marco del seminario SOUNDSCAPE, Investigación Sonora y Escenografía Acústica en el Instituto de Arte y Educación Artística de la Universidad de Osnabrück. El gestor del proyecto es justamente Benjamin Stumpf, y los artistas son un grupo de estudiantes que han trabajado con él. A modo de introducción, a partir de la exploración auditiva de nuestro entorno y la recopilación de material sonoro, se concibieron piezas sonoras que se centran especialmente en la identidad y las estructuras del lugar. Un aparcamiento vacío de varias plantas en el centro de la ciudad se ha convertido en el objeto de investigación para nuestro trabajo artístico sonoro. El edificio huérfano está situado en medio de una ruidosa esfera sonora urbana, pero, despojado de su función, representa un lugar de silencio. La instalación multicanal resultante entreteje las diversas obras acústicas en un espacio de resonancia colectiva. Bueno, sin más, voy a pasar a hablar en inglés. Benjamin, that was our quick introduction to your work. I don't know if you want to speak a bit about how you made this, or we do play and then we speak later, as you please.
Oh, I can give like a small introduction.
That would be great.
Yeah. My very warmly welcome to you. Yeah, it's very nice to take part on this festival now, and yeah, maybe I said some words about me and my kind of working. So my name is Benjamin Florian Stumpf, and I'm a visual artist from Germany, and I'm working in the field of curation and working also for different universities as a lecturer. So yeah, actually my main thing is to work in research-based projects, often in cooperation, interdisciplinary. So for this project, this was for 2 semesters. I organized this together with a university in Osnabrück. So the main question was to deal with sound, especially, and finding a link to the public space. So what's the interesting point in this project is that we find a totally empty parking house in the city of Osnabrück and start over 1 year to create a new soundscape for this place. So after a while, we did a lot of field recordings around the parking slot and developed compositions of sound and starting in a collective to work together. So what I want to show today is, just first like an introduction. So the students already developed also a small introduction text and give a link to the kind of working. And after we have like a presentation. So it's between a presentation and like our own artwork. So we use the material and we are also start to working with video footage from the installation. So this was like a mixed up of two elements. I would say we look into the presentation, and afterwards I would really like to speak with you about the project and the experience, and you can told me some questions. And so I would say let's open the presentation and speak afterwards. Thank you.
Let's go. Thanks to you. So, okay, I will play the presentation. As Benjamin said, there is an introduction made by students. It's around 10 minutes, and another 10 minutes is the whole things all together. So we are going to be in play for around 20 minutes, and then we get back to the conversation. All right?
Super. Thank you.
Thanks to you. Give me a second. Screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, I will mute all microphones.
As part of the seminar, SOUNDSCAPE, Sound Research and Acoustic Scenography, at the Institute for Arts/Art Education at the University of Osnabrück, the participating students from the Art and Communication Master of Arts course, under the direction of Benjamin F. Stumpf, developed new artistic works. Based on the auditory exploration of our surroundings and the collection of sound material, sound pieces and installations were conceived that focus particularly on the identity and structures of the place. In the first part of the project, the focus was on developing your own audiovisual artistic work. Finally, we dealt with the practical implementation of an artistic intervention and the presentation of the resulting works in Osnabrück's public space. An empty multi-story car park in the center of Osnabrück has become the object of research for our sound artwork. This resonance body is an urban hub of acoustic contrasts. Nowhere is it so quiet and loud at the same time. The room echoes and swallows the sound at the same time. The multi-story car park is located in the middle of a noisy urban sound sphere, but robbed of its function, it represents a place of silence. In the context of the university seminar, which took place under the direction of the artist Benjamin F. Stumpf and deals with sound research, the multi-story car park caught our eye as a place of contrasts. It was to become the linchpin of our project, as we made a large number of recordings on the parking garage site and ultimately chose this as the playback and presentation location. Here we want to put our listening habits to the test and investigate whether an auditory balanced background noise that also accommodates the quietest tone is possible. The recipients experience the installation without entering the parking garage. In this way, this place of silence itself becomes the transmitter of the acoustic debates. With the consent of the Lindhorst Group, which owns the multi-story car park, the planning of the exhibition could begin. We are extremely pleased that we have the opportunity to present our elaborate sound installation as part of the important Osnabrück cultural event, European Media Art Festival. The city as a sound landscape is subject to constant change, be it the everyday hustle and bustle of its residents or the unchanging flow of time. Everyone is related to the environmental sounds that surround them. Ever since the start of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries, more and more new sounds have found their way into our everyday background noise. Electronic hum, machine noise and loudspeakers, and more recently portable devices, are a ubiquitous part of our hearing. The acoustic spaces compressed in this way are characterized on the one hand by permanent broadband noise, high redundancy and low information value, on the other hand by signal and orientation sounds such as horns, sirens, traffic lights and the like, which the residents have to distinguish from the basic tone of the city. The resulting acoustic profile leads to a rapid increase in sonic impressions. As industry and cities grow, other acoustic activities are disrupted and the sound field dominates. It is almost impossible to make out individual sounds because the overall picture has become overloaded and indistinguishable. It is also almost impossible to hear from afar. What remains is the current noise. Domestic and natural soundscapes as a balance to the busy life of the public. There is a retreat into private space, where we find a different world of sound that we are familiar with. The whirring of the refrigerator and the sound of modern transmission technology is perhaps the only thing that reminds us of the noise outside. Here we hear and understand who and what is making noise, be it a phone call, the boiling of a kettle or the creaking of a chair. Our domesticity has its sound. If you want to get deeper into the origins of our hearing, go into nature, our sonic primeval world. Every snapping branch, birdsong and rustling of leaves are crystal clear here, just walking off the beaten track. If you are attentive and lucky, you may even hear the call of a wild animal. Here you have an acoustic perspective again. How do these different sound worlds affect people? How do we judge the place and its acoustic identity? What are the functions of everyday sound patterns? SOUNDSCAPE, Multi-Channel Installation, 2022 as part of the seminar, SOUNDSCAPE, Sound Research and Acoustic Scenography, at the Institute for Art/Art Education at the University of Osnabrück. Project Management, Benjamin F. Stumpf. Artists, Joshua Heinrichs, Christine Kiel, Roman Knoll, Catherine Lehman, Benjamin F. Stumpf and Maria Zumholz. With the kind support of the University of Osnabrück and the Lindhorst Group and the European Media Art Festival 2022. Sponsored by the Cultural Office of the City of Osnabrück.
Wow, it was intense. Yeah, I enjoyed it really much. It's like you have some mixtures, different textures and different words joined together. Something like that was my interpretation, and I like it very much. The colors, the combination of maybe hard architecture with soft textures, and also. But okay, let's just give you the feedback. I cannot listen to you, Schultz. No te escucho.
Thanks. Sorry.
Okay.
Here I am. And Benjamin, you're mute as well. I ask you to unmute your microphone. Okay, first, thanks again for being here. We really enjoy the work. I don't know if you want to add something now after we have seen it. We have a couple of questions going on.
Yeah, let's start with this.
Okay, in a relation with the sounds, because we have seen different kind of sounds, we were curious if they are natural sounds that are with some kind of post-production or some digital intervention, or if also there were other like synthesized sounds, especially the bass, you know, that is so complex that we were thinking about how this scenario was made.
So yeah, actually it was like a mixture of different ways into the sound. So the starting point was actually like the field recordings that we really start around the parking house with recordings and yeah, focus on small sounds or atmospheres. And after we start like a post-production of the sounds. So we was like a group. So we're working like a group. So everybody create like our own compositions. And and in the next step, we took the compositions and put it together in a choreography into the plays. So this was the way how we worked. So was much different. So for the bass sounds, they also was like animated. So we work with natural sounds, but also like with animated sounds and with post-production sounds. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you first made like the natural scenario, and then you make the final cut, adding like synthesized sounds. Also regarding the video was conceived at the beginning, or once you finalize the sound thing, you start to think about the video? Like how were these images taken? What the thing behind the video?
Yeah. So the main work was very concentrated on the space first. Yeah. So we work in this huge empty parking house. And but this atmosphere that the installation created, so we try how we can adapt this in a kind of documentation. So we took the atmosphere of the whole installation and tried to make it more abstract in a way. Yeah, but just working with the mood, the atmosphere of the main installation, and to find a way to transfer it in this video work. So this was very open process, and yeah, we liked this just working with textures or detailed small things to work. So it's more or less like a other own work out or inspired of the main installation, I would say.
Okay, so then in the installation inside the parking, there was not a projection of the video. The installation was just the real world.
Yeah, so the atmosphere was quite spooky in a way, because you enter this totally huge empty space with a lot of different sounds around you. So the space was split in 3 floors. So you heard sometimes the sound from down or from up, and you can move around. And so actually was quite spooky. So it was just a few, the light was also not so much light inside, because we don't use like electric light in the installation, just the light from the sun or the day.
Okay,
So,
it was under daylight, the
yes,
installation.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. So we in the parking house was some windows, but the light was limited, and you was very concentrated on the acoustic things and the changing of acoustic, because when you are moving, the sound was much changing. So yeah, so that was the way how we try to create the video, because like to make like a documentation one-to-one was not really possible, because the atmosphere was so special in a way. And so we decide to choose this more abstract way of documentation. Yeah.
Perfect. And we are also curious about how you made it to get inside the parking. Like sometimes it has a difficult to access to these kind of places and being authorized, right, to make these kind of things. How was it?
Yeah, in the beginning we thought it would be impossible, because the place was very long time empty. But we will just start still working on this. And I get some contacts and did some phone calls, and after a while we see, okay, there was the owner said, oh yeah, maybe not so, but okay, we discussed, and I think it was a quite good opener, because it was part of the European Media Art Festival that is quite famous in Germany, and the relation to the university, and so this was the door opener. And after a while it was not this complicated. They just said, okay, you can go in and develop your works there.
Thank you. So the parking had an owner, and the thing was like to convince the owner about how important was to make it there.
Yeah, actually it was quite interesting, because it was a huge building, and it was over years empty. So in the whole neighborhood, a lot of people that registered it was there, but not seen in a way. So because it was without a use, and so the reaction of the people they came by, and also people they are living close by, this was quite interesting, because in this moment it's changed mentally totally the view on this building. So and
yeah, I get it. Like it changed the view of the city regarding this specific place. Yeah, like art going through, right?
Yeah.
And how long it took to make the installation, like to think about it, to know where to put the speakers, like to create that atmosphere. How long it took?
Yeah, actually was the whole project took like 2 semesters, and we worked quite intense on composition questions and with the space. Yeah, the installation itself was not so long. Took some days, I think like a half week, just to build up the whole technique, and yeah. But the main thing was the composition, because we have very different acoustic compositions. To bring this all together and relate it to the space was a challenge. Yeah.
Sure. Jessica, I don't know if you have any question you want to ask.
I think it's been really clear, your question, and I really appreciate all your point of view. I'm just a little bit curious about some noise, some sounds that remains to water sounds, like aquatic sounds, and it's like a contrast, with the image or the architecture or all the other sounds. For me, my own interpretation was just like artificial sounds or more metallic sounds. But in the middle of the situation of the artwork, I can feel that is something aquatic or something like that. It's just, my question is about that is my own interpretation, or you have the intention to add water sounds to the artwork?
Okay.
Did you understand the question?
Not really.
Okay, no, that I can understand that you have some water sounds, like
Water sound.
okay,
Yeah.
like water. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting. On one floor, so in the basement, there was like a big pool of water, because the water came inside the building. So we had to start with a relation, also work with the sound of water. So that's what you mean, huh?
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, so that's have really seen what you say, what you explain. No, well, all the question, I think I good with this too. I don't know what you think, but it's really interesting, all the explanation, and I would like to contact you for the book that we will develop after all this event. I don't know, Jules, I think we're fine.
I have a last one. If you,
okay.
I have enthusiasm. I heard the voice of somebody at the end of the sound, like it was included, like the word, like a person speaking with a specific criteria. Why at the end we hear somebody speaking, and it didn't sound like German for me, right? I don't know. Yeah, so I was curious about it.
So you mean the singing part in Arab, or just in the end?
Kind of in the end, yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like an Indian sounds or something like that, or not?
It was only very close by in other parking place with there. I cannot explain exactly, but was a women, you can ask for the right ways in a building. So she was in a kind of office there, and we make like a phone call to her. So, and then recorded it.
Wow.
So was also a part of this field recordings. Yeah.
As the feeling when you're listening it, you're getting inside like an abstract sound atmosphere, and at the end it has its own weight, right? Like the word of a person. So I was just curious about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Benjamin, I don't know if you want to add something.
Maybe we can add our website.
Sure do.
One moment.
In YouTube as well. This figurestamp.com, right?
So yes, I'm working with my partner together. So just feel free and have a look there in our works. And yeah, was a really pleasure to be with you. And yeah, I hope we will stay in contact. And yeah, I'm looking forward.
The same for us. I will share the screen just for a second to show your website in case somebody want to take a.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Can you see it, right?
That's super. Yeah.
Okay, in case somebody want to take note and check it out.
Perfect.
There it is. Benjamin, we are very grateful about you being here, taking your time, giving us your work. So we still wishing to remain in contact, as you said, and thanks again. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Next time.
See you. Ciao.
See you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.